this particular scenario says understand the potential risks associated with a relationship and be willing to assess them objectively. This is really important that we have this particular part of the conversation because there are people out of the goodness of their heart that will say, "Oh, let's do lunch. I haven't seen you in so long." And you say, "Oh, yes, let's." Neither one of you mean it, or you do mean it and the other person doesn't. In this scenario, there's a single mom. She's got a tiny toddler and a newborn. And she says, "Let's do lunch." What are the odds that you're actually going to meet for lunch? All right. So in the past, you'd say, "Oh, yes, let's," and you make an agreement, which is like saying, "Oh, no, I'm fine," when in fact you're not. And things are sad between you, right? It's that telling the little white lie, "Yes, let's meet for lunch. That would be so awesome." And you have no intentions whatsoever. One or the two of you don't. All right, let's say that you're on the receiving end of this and this is a friend. The friend is the single mom with a toddler and the infant. "Hey, let's do lunch." What you can say and what we need to start saying moving forward is in the past, we've made plans and I've cleared my schedule and I was eager and excited to meet with you. But because of the kids, something happened and they got sick at the last minute, or the daycare called and said, "You need to come pick them up early." And we never got to meet. And we've done that 3 or 4 times. And so every time I clear my schedule and then you tell me that, "Oh, at the last minute, it can't happen," I not only lose trust in you, but I get really upset because I've cleared my schedule because your friendship with me was meaningful and really important. All right, what we've just done is we've just stopped. It's like we removed the smartphone element, like, "Hey, I'm not really focused on you and I'm not really looking at you and you don't really matter in my life." What we did is we stopped. We brought everything to a focal point and we said, "Your relationship with me is so important. I don't want to make plans again because I don't want to get hurt. I'm vulnerable and I want to be willing to believe in you. But every time we make plans, you hurt me. You tell me that something came up at the last minute that is more important than me, and then I'm sad." Okay. So we need to start having conversations with the people in our lives who have the ability to hurt us. And I know this sounds kind of counterintuitive because why would you want to have a conversation if we don't like confrontation? Nobody likes confrontation, but we can't build healthy relationships that are built on trust until we're willing to have these conversations. Okay. So I have to be willing to go to the single mom and say, "Hey, listen, this is not working out for me. I really respect your friendship. Can we do it a different way?" Now, the next step is negotiation. Okay. So we're not just going to leave them high and dry and make them feel guilty for not being able to meet with us or for having a newborn and not being able to meet us like they said. What we want to do instead is we want to consider the risks and we want to figure out how we can create a safe environment for them to come back and say, "You're right. Every time I've scheduled something with you, I have broken my promise and I've destroyed the trust between us." And if I give them a safe out, what I can do is I can create a new situation. I can say, instead of us meeting for lunch, "I know you have a toddler. I know you have a newborn. Why don't you grab the strollers? You don't even have to put on any makeup. Just let's go outside your house. We'll go for a walk. We'll walk a mile if we have to, but we'll walk and talk. We'll take the kids out for some fresh air. That's it. I get to spend time with you. I get what I was looking for, which is time with you, and we get to be friends again. And you don't have to make any promises you can't keep." Right? So what we did is we addressed the issue. We were honest about our own feelings. We gave them a safe environment where they could say, "You're right. I've screwed up several times. I'm probably going to screw up again, right? I'm probably going to cancel on you again because stuff happens when you have tiny kids." And so by giving them a different environment where, "Hey, let's go walking," then they're thinking, "Oh, that's so great. I don't have to put on any makeup. I don't have to put on special clothes. I don't have to hire a babysitter. I don't have to do all these other things that really have tripped up the relationship in the past." Right? How easy is it for one person to run over to the other person's house, grab a stroller, and both of you take the kids walking? Right? Now you have a chance to actually have a meaningful relationship. The reason that I bring this up today is we're not going to get to the walk in the park or the walk with the strollers unless we're willing to have those hard conversations first. And it's not that we're just going to offer the stroller thing. We need to first have the conversation about, "Hey, something's fallen apart between us. And I keep getting hurt because I'm a friend with you. I keep getting hurt and I don't like that feeling." What that does is that gives the other person a chance to say, "Oh, I have been lax in my promises. And so now moving forward, I'm going to try to do better. I'm not going to make promises I can't keep. And if I am in a situation where I say I will be there, I need to do that because I'm hurting people by not keeping my promises, right? This all comes down to the family relationships that we have and how we're dealing with all of our stuff. Lots of people ended up in hoarding and cluttering situations because something triggered it. Something triggered it somewhere. And now people feel helpless and they feel alone and they don't feel like they can turn to anyone else. And so I want it to be okay to have these really tough conversations. I don't like tough conversations any more than anyone else, but I promise you this, they are liberating. When you actually stand up and you're like, you know what? I like myself and I'm worth the resolve. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do this. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And it's one of the most rewarding.